It's one of Southwest Florida's top pastimes, and today we're putting around with golf. This week the Champions Tour is in Naples. We're there too. In the Collier Swing, we look at setup for the Chubb Classic at Twin Eagles. With top players and a national spotlight, it's important to have a picture-perfect presentation.
We'll be mowing everything every morning, except for the roughs. We'll be mowing fairways, tees, collars, approaches, greens, every single morning. And we'll be raking traps every morning, all ahead of the golf.
We'll also talk about the sport as a moneymaker. Does a prime location pay off in real estate? We'll break it down in driving home sales. Plus, if your game is a work in progress, you might appreciate the high-tech options to help you take it up a notch. We'll show you in swing time. I'm Amy Oshier. Thanks for joining us. We'll also have a commentary from Alan Bartlett and a look at what's going on in our newsroom. That's all coming up. Welcome back to Behind the Headlines. With football out of season, many sports fans are turning to golf to get their fix. And this week, all eyes are on Naples and Twin Eagles as it plays host to the PGA Champions Tour. But we're giving you a view you don't usually see on TV. If all goes well, the finished product will seem effortless, but make no mistake, putting on a pro golf tournament is a huge undertaking. We got a behind the headlines look at the Chubb Classic prior to play.
This is 18, it's our finishing hole, so this is where we build this venue for the spectators. We have all hospitality suites up under the tents there.
Built to withstand wind and rain, it takes nearly a month to erect these structures.
We have tent companies come in to build the tents, and then obviously once all of that's up, we need to get power in the tents and TVs in the tents, cable, and we need ecology solutions out here to work on having porta potties and restroom trailers and all of that.
And around the course, small towers are on the rise. The entire back nine will have TV cameras. The tournament is airing on the Golf Channel. With national eyes on Collier County and Twin Eagles, ground crews are focusing on the star attraction, the Nicholas design course.
And I go up and look and see what the views the cameras are going to be getting on TV in case there's something we might be missing so that it looks good on TV. We want it to look good for all the spectators who are here live as well, so we do a lot of little touch-ups.
It hasn't been easy this year. The course is equipped to drain, but too much rain is pushing the limit. With a reputation for being fast and hard, the grounds will be pruned to perfection.
We'll be mowing everything every morning. Except for the roughs. We'll be mowing fairways, tees, collars, approaches, greens every single morning. And we'll be raking traps every morning, all ahead of the golf.
The course is also getting the once-over from tour officials. Mike Sullivan is part of a two-man team getting the lay of the land.
We mark all the boundaries, put boundary stakes up where needed. We mark the hazards, put hazard stakes up, put paint down on the ground to delineate the hazards.
The grass is sprayed with paint so players can clearly see what they're up against. Most every hole has a water hazard, meaning a lot of paint will go down.
You might go through 4 cases of paint, 12 cans per case.
With course and venue well covered, an army of volunteers will make sure the event runs smoothly.
We have just under 700 volunteers that have come help us out, and they have all different types of roles, whether it be marshals out here, hospitality suite credential checkers, admissions, will call, all those different items. They assist us in a big way.
Pulling off a successful tourney means keeping the players happy, leaving sponsors satisfied, looking good on TV, and giving the fans who come here a time they won't forget.
We like to have a good spectator experience out here. So, you know, that's everything from making sure as spectators are entering, they know where they're going. You know, they've got spectator directional signage, and they can find good parking, and they can get on site, and they can know where the players actually are. So that's really important to us, you know, good food and a lot of fun out here.
National golf coverage is like an ad for luxury living in Naples, and those golf course communities can make for hot properties. We tapped a local real estate expert for a look at whether golf courses drive home sales. It's middle of winter, freezing cold in much of the country. Then you see this on TV. Blue skies, balmy breezes, and grassy fairways. For a golf viewer, the prospect of teeing it up in Florida looks pretty inviting.
You know, they're basically stuck inside, most of the audience up north, and they get to see our green grass, the warm weather.
Michael York works closely with golf buyers, people purchasing a lifestyle.
People are looking for a specific golf course community. They're looking for the way the golf course plays, how it sets up to them, the condition of the golf course, how are the members interacting with each other, is there a large social presence. You know, it's more of a one-stop shopping. 2015
real estate figures saw a jump in sales for high-priced homes, like the ones found in golf course communities. The $300,000 to $500,000 category was up 21%, and home sales over $2 million rose 9%. If buyers choose well, it's a smart investment.
They're looking for a great golf course, and that helps them resell. You know, somebody's going to come into to a Talus Park, let's say, or a Tiburon, and they're going to want to play these golf courses. That's where they want to belong. So the resale value, you know, and picking a community such as this is of huge importance.
High price inventory is also growing and moving.
But everything's going out further east now, which we hadn't developed before. So the in-town clubs, you know, closer to 75 or even 41, they're pretty well established by now.
As long as there are white winters up north and green grass down here, golf course communities should be sitting pretty. Still to come on Behind the Headlines, a commentary from Alan Bartlett and a look at improving your golf game off the course. Stay with us. Welcome back to Behind the Headlines. Our golf tour continues. This week it's the Champions Tournament, but that's not the only PGA stop in Collier County. This area is a golfer's paradise when it comes to pro play. Here's more from our Naples Daily News Sports Department.
Thanks, Amy. I'm Greg Hardwig, the sports editor at the Naples Daily News. We're out here at the Chubb Classic at Twin Eagles. Another great field this week. They had the top 30 money winners from last year, which tournaments usually do not get. Defending champion Lee Jansen and 2010 winner Fred Couples was here for the first time since winning the tournament back at the Quarry. A lot of the players were here early in the week and came in for some media sessions. Peter, what makes this tournament special here?
Well, for me, it's a hometown game. I get to sleep in my own bed and eat at home, and it's really special because we travel all the time, as you know. Whether I'm doing television or playing tournaments, I'm always sleeping in a hotel, so this is really special. But I love the golf course here at Twin Eagles. It's a great combination of very difficult holes and easy holes. So you've got to be careful on the holes like 18. That's one of the hardest holes I've ever played. If you get careless here, you're going to make a double bogey like that. You hit it in the water, you make 6. So you've got to be careful there, but there are other par 5s that you can be aggressive on. So having a chance to sleep in my own bed and play a golf course that I like, it gets me out of bed in the morning.
And you've been in Southwest Florida for a few years too. This is not the only professional tour event here. You've got the ladies in November and then Greg Norman's event in December. Why do you think all 3 tours are playing somewhere like Naples, Florida?
I think this is really a hotbed for golf. In fact, my caddy was saying this morning there are more golf courses within a 5-mile radius of where I live than where he lives in Omaha, Nebraska. I think it's so many people down here love their golf. They come here because of golf. Obviously they come because of the weather and because of the area, the food and the restaurants and all the recreational activities, but mostly for golf. And we have so many great golf courses in this area. Maybe we're never going to host a U.S. Open or a major championship. We don't have those type of golf courses. We mostly have planned community developments, but the golf courses are very competitive and very fun. So I know Tiburon, where the Franklin Templeton Shootout plays, and where the LPGA plays, and where we play, the golf courses are competitive and they're very fun.
Another great tournament here, but not the only professional golf tournament in Naples. Later in the year, we'll have the top LPGA players here for their tour championship at Tiburon.
and stay at Tiburon 3 weeks later for the Franklin Templeton Shootout. It's rare for this type of metropolitan area to have 3 professional tour events, especially at this level. And all 3 have been here for a number of years. Golf has just been, something that's been important to Southwest Florida and the Naples area in particular. There's almost 100 golf courses here, and depending on what you look at per capita, they're either first or second in the country. So that just ties in that along with the weather. You have tournaments in November and December and February when the weather usually isn't great in other parts of the country. And that helps with you'll see a lot of commercials from the Tourism Bureau here, and that is just going to bring people in to the Naples area once they see, how beautiful it is here.
It's a busy time all around with winter season and political season colliding. That leaves a lot for our editorial page editor, Alan Bartlett, to think about. Here's our weekly commentary.
4. That's not a heads up that I'm at a golf course getting ready to tee off. 4 is the number of condominiums that a development company wants to build on what's now the Raptor Bay Golf Course in the city of Bonita Springs, near the border of Estero. 4 is also the number of homes per acre built in a lot of residential neighborhoods. It wasn't all that long ago that the Naples area boasted about having more golf holes per capita than any other place in the nation. Foursomes were lining up to golf. Times have changed. Interest in recreational golf is waning in the region, and companies that own the property are considering whether housing is a better option for the land. It's an emerging issue here that a decade ago would have been unthinkable. The debate in Bonita Springs comes on the heels of one last year in northern Collier County, where a housing development was proposed where land was once promised in perpetuity to be green space or a golf course. In Collier, there's a proposal to turn Golden Gate Country Club, which has been there for about 50 years, into a residential community. There's another proposal in East Naples to reconfigure a neighborhood to create more homes instead of golf holes there now. Are today's golf courses best used for golf or for housing, for recreational trails, or for water recharge? Around here, the answer has always been golf. That is no longer a foregone conclusion. That's what I'm thinking. Join in the conversation at naplesnews.com.
Thanks, Alan. If you'd like to add your thoughts on this or any other topic, feel free to reach out. We invite you to write us a letter or leave a comment on our Facebook page. Before we leave the newsroom, here's one more stop. We call it the Editor's Corner. It's a look at what the Naples Daily News is working on.
Thanks, Amy. I'm Brett Blackledge, Metro Editor here at the Naples Daily News. We do a lot of coverage here in Naples, covering government, covering politics, covering crime and real estate. We thought we would talk about love today. It's Valentine's Day. It's an opportunity for us to explore some interesting stories in our area, and a couple of our journalists, Dorothy Edwards and Kate Douglas, did just that. So Dorothy, I was hoping maybe you could tell us a little bit about what y'all found.
Yeah, so we went out into the community and found 4 couples, 3 of which have been together for over 60 years. We were just kind of looking for people in the community, our readers, to kind of meet and get to know couples that live in the same town and kind of what their secret was to make love last.
I will say that Valentine's Day is every day for myself.
I guess we give to each other every day. We give. I do laundry and he shops.
We've worked together for everything that we do, so I mean we're so close that I can go on, and I just would not
Have enough words to say.
have enough words to say.
And we learned a lot about patience is key from a lot of them. That was kind of a something that kind of strung through everybody, that patience and learning how to let the small stuff go, which I think is a good thing to learn for everybody.
That's really good advice, and you can read about it today in the Naples Daily News. You can go online at naplesnews.com or check it out at the store.
Another one of our big draws here in Southwest Florida is the water. From boating to waterfront dining, you can get a taste of both of those visiting the dock at Creighton Cove. In the Know columnist Tim Ayton looks at what this restaurant has meant to this area for the past 40 years and its future.
Hi, I'm Tim Ayton, the In the Know columnist at the Naples Daily News, and we're here today with Vin DiPasquale. He's the owner of the Dock Restaurant, and we're here because you're celebrating your 40th anniversary, which is incredible.
Yeah, it is. Never would have thought we'd be here 40 years later. Wasn't the intention of the restaurant at that time.
Yeah. Well, what do you attribute to your longevity and success of the last 40 years in a market that's pretty, you have a lot of restaurants to compete with?
Yeah, it is competitive. Well, one of the things you have to notice when you come here is our location. We attribute a lot to that, especially in the beginning, bringing people down to the water when there were very few choices in doing that. The other thing that we work on is our culture. We have a very strong culture and have had that since the beginning. We work with respect on each other, the customer and the business, and that combination of things really pays off.
Oh, that's great.
And of course, we have great talent. We pull the talent in and low turnover, so you have a lot of familiarity here from year to year in faces and also in the direction of the menu.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
But the location is beautiful. We're here, if people don't know, on Creighton Cove, which is used to be the Back Bay years ago.
That's
in
right.
Naples. And tell us about how did you come about, redeveloping this area, I guess.
Well, this was our first project, the Cove Properties, and I had a partner, Kenny Shriver, at the time, and we decided that we were going to create some energy down here to condominiumize all of the hotel and the boat slips and things like that. So creating energy was really important. This location was an abandoned or closed office and 2 apartments in the back.
Okay.
So it wasn't so much the structure, it was the location that struck me and said we can make this a really interesting and fun place. Bring people down here, they're right on the water, right next to the city marina, the city dock, Creighton Cove, which is a little historic. Now, I'm speaking of this when I'm 26 years old. Like I know what I'm doing. And of course, a lot of this comes later when we say, yeah, I guess we really did pick a good spot.
Ahead of your time, that's
right.
Great. Well, of course, with redevelopment, we know that there's also redevelopment what continues to this day in Creighton Cove. And near next door here, you can see them right across the way, are some buildings that are going to come down. They're going to be redeveloped. And one of the rumors is that the dock is involved in that, but you're here to stay, is that right?
Yeah, we're separate. We're a separate property. Yes, we are. We're here to stay. That's a 5-story building. I think they're going to, the plan is to redesign the 5-story building to residential units. And the building across the way from it, also on the Cove property, is to be a 3-story building.
Okay.
And that one, I believe they intend to take down and rebuild.
Okay.
But
you plan to be here for many years, right?
Yeah, the dock is here. We're going to stay here, and the more we can add to the character and charm of the area with what we do, the more we like it. That's been a challenge for us over the years.
Sure.
Because in growing and expanding, you would think that you would have to create new things, but our objective was to hold things in place so that there is some sort of reminder of what happened here 40 or 50 years ago.
Well, that's great, and people love it.
They do.
And they also love the Great Dock Canoe Race, and that unfortunately doesn't have longevity attached to it, is right? Because this is going to be the last year that you're talking about. In May is the 40th Great Dock Canoe Race, which starts right here.
Starts and ends right here.
And so tell us about that. So why is this the last year?
Well, we've been doing it for 40 years. It's a big endeavor with a lot of effort from a great deal of volunteers and support from the community. Not that we've enjoyed putting this on and being a part of it, and having the community really embrace it. It's time for us to move on. It's Maybe at some point it'll pick up again, but it's our last year of doing it. Theme this year is Last Chance, so or Last Dance, excuse me.
Named after the Donna Summer song, because you started in the disco era and you're going to end with disco.
That's right. We'll reflect back into the 70s with Last Dance.
All right. Well, I wish you the best of luck, and thanks for taking the time today.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Find out more in this week's In the Know column in the Naples Daily News and online at naplesnews.com.
And finally, most people find their golf game is a work in progress. We're fortunate here to have high-tech tools and expert teachers close at hand. Impact Golf Zone is a perfect example. With the national headquarters in Bonita Springs, it uses pro instructors and teaching technology to speed up the learning process. We got a look at the facility, including the TrackMan radar device. It helps dial in your driver for extra yards, and the Swing Catalyst video and force plate technology, which helps your coach track the ins and outs of your motion, right down to where you distribute pressure. Former PGA Tour player and commentator Bobby Clampett founded the Training Academy, which aims to improve a player's striking position. A time investment here might help you get to the top of your game or have fun trying. That'll do it for this edition of Behind the Headlines, Southwest Florida's only news magazine. You can rewatch and share clips from this show by going to naplesnews.com or like us on Facebook. I'm Amy Oshier. See you back here next week.
I will say that Valentine's Day is every day for myself.